Well, there are questions tonight about whether the Republican-led Senate will confirm Donald Trump's recent nominations for cabinet. Some Republican senators now demanding the release of a House ethics report into Attorney General nominee Matt Gaetz. The House was investigating allegations that Gaetz engaged in sexual misconduct and illicit drug use, and the report was set to come out tomorrow. However, the investigation ended upon Gaetz' sudden resignation from the House yesterday. Trump making another controversial pick today, tapping Robert Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. Now, Kennedy is a prominent anti-vaxxer and spread vaccine misinformation during the pandemic. Just last year, he claimed Wi-Fi caused cancer, antidepressants are to blame for school shootings, and that chemicals in the water supply could, quote, turn children transgender. Well, Governor Polis had a reaction to JFK's nomination that took some people by surprise. The governor quickly celebrated the announcement on social media. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon spoke with Republicans to get their reaction to Trump's cabinet choices and to political experts about the process to confirm them.
Who's going to be on President-elect Donald Trump's team?
People are watching this as if they're watching a sports draft.
Truth is, we don't know who's going to make the cut just yet.
He still has to actually make it through the Senate for these people to get confirmed.
Christy Burton Brown is a lifelong Republican who used to be the chair of the Colorado GOP.
A lot of these are people that supported President Trump throughout his run, and so some of them aren't very shocking.
There are picks she likes.
My favorite is Marco Rubio as Secretary of State.
And picks she doesn't.
Matt Gaetz certainly comes to mind as Attorney General. I think someone who has had the credible accusations against him that have risen with like minor women and the things he's known for showing on the House floor. Someone like that shouldn't run the Department of Justice.
And they're the ones she finds interesting.
Whether or not you agree with every single position RFK has taken, he certainly is pushing towards something that a lot of suburban women actually have adopted these days, especially moms, feeding our kids healthier food.
Democratic Governor Jared Polis posting on X that he's excited about Robert Kennedy Jr., saying he'll help make America healthy again, and is optimistic about RFK taking on Big Pharma. Most cabinet positions, they require the Senate to approve them with a majority vote. Even with Republicans holding the majority next session, MSU poli-sci professor Michael Greenberger says it's not a done deal for all of these nominees.
Typically, there's a long path from nomination to appointment, where some nominees, especially those more controversial like Matt Gaetz, might not pass a majority vote in the Senate.
It's important to note that the president does have a majority, or will have a majority in the Senate. He's asked for a recess appointment to really, bypass the usual process. And those recess appointments are, constitutionally allowed.
Political science chair at MSU, Rob Preuss, explained a recess appointment, which is when a president asks for a temporary appointment while Congress is in recess.
The big key there is to see whether the Senate is leadership in the Senate is willing to go along with that, particularly with some of these controversial nominations.
So, who will officially make Trump's team? It'll be a game time decision. In Denver, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
And late tonight, Governor Polis's office sent us a statement about his tweet. It says, while opposed to RFK's positions on a host of issues, including vaccines and banning fluoridation, he would appreciate seeing action on pesticides and efforts to lower prescription drug costs. It goes on to say he definitely does not endorse actions that would lead to measles outbreaks and opposes unscientific propaganda that undermines confidence in the life-saving impact of vaccines. And not long after news broke of the RFK Jr. nomination, I spoke with the dean of the Colorado School of Public Health about just how much impact the health secretary can have on public health.
Would whoever holds that job's personal position and public statements move the needle at all when it comes to actual real healthcare where the rubber meets the road?
A person who is at the head of that agency will certainly have policy-making ability within the agency, the ability to change regulations, to decide what things get funded, what things do not, where the budget is allocated and where it's not allocated, funding resources to certain kinds of initiatives and dry them up in other places. So yes, there can be potentially a very influential.
Now, as health secretary, Kennedy would be in charge of 10 agencies, including the CDC, FDA, and National Institutes of Health.